Holy Monday, the priest who made a mess. Jesus surprised everyone by coming to Jerusalem on a donkey. He surprised everyone by weeping as he came. That didn't seem very king-like of him, but the people were still very curious. Why was this king crying? What would he do next? So later that week, they followed him to the most important building in the city, the temple. The temple was a beautiful golden building God had told his people to build. It was supposed to be God's home on earth, the one place God's people knew he would be. God's people would bring their special gifts of cows and sheep and pigeons. The priests, who were in charge of the temple, would help them sacrifice their gifts, and together they would all pray to God. When Jesus walked into the temple, though, he wasn't happy at all. Something had gone horribly wrong. Sure, the cows and sheep and pigeons and priests were all still there, but the prayers weren't. Instead, there was a bunch of greedy men making money by selling animals to the people. Jesus had warned his people about this sort of thing before, but they kept on forgetting. So he decided to get their attention. And boy, did he. He walked right up to the greedy men, leaned over their tables, and then flipped those tables right over. Money went crashing and jangling and clinking everywhere. Pigeons began flying all over the place. The cows and sheep started scampering to the door. It was madness. And in the midst of this madness, the people heard Jesus calling out, "My house is supposed to be a house of prayer, but you have made it a house of greed." As you can imagine, the priests weren't pleased at all with this. So they called back pretty loudly over the sound of the cows and sheep and pigeons, "Just who do you think you are? This isn't your house." But Jesus knew that it was his house, that he was the real priest. So he said, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will build it again." Everyone's jaw dropped. 3 days? It had taken 46 years to build this temple, and Jesus thought he could rebuild it in 3 days. The priest certainly couldn't do that. Could Jesus? Maybe he could, if it really was his. People realized later that when Jesus was talking about the temple, he was also talking about himself, about dying and coming back to life. But at the time, everyone who heard it wondered, was Jesus a priest? Or was he a king? And what kind of kingdom would this man bring?